end of the street, only a few houses away. Easy access to good quality schooling, both primary and secondary. And of course, many shopping options around the corner from Johnson Street Shopping Village, and easy access to Edgeworth Street Shopping, Broadway Shopping and High Street Shopping. Has absolutely ticked every single box in terms of location. Add to that a great mid-century blonde brick home. They hardly build them like this anymore. A great opportunity for the renovator, a great opportunity for the first home buyer, a great opportunity for the investor, and perhaps consider the 557 square metres of land we offer here in the heart of Reservoir on a corner to take advantage of. Consider the possibility of redevelopment or maybe even a second dwelling in the backyard, subject to council approval, of course. But what better place to invest in than here in Lloyd Avenue, and a great opportunity now for you to get the sold sticker on the board. So buyers, if that is your goal here today, right now is your opportunity to do just that. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for number 78 Lloyd? Who'd like to start? 700. At 700,000, fair start. We'll go with that at 700,000 now. Fairly been offered. Welcome, best of luck. At 700,000 got now.
20.
At 20, I'll take the 20 at 720,000. I'm taking 20, sir. At 720,000 bids there, make it 40 in the rise. At 55 now, even better at 755. At 800,000 now. At 800,000. 810 now at 810,000. 810 in the bids there. 810,000. 3 in it now at 810,000. At 20. At 820,000. At 820,000, I can say with certainty we are on the market and selling here today. 25 now at 825. At 8 1/4, we're on the market. We're selling at 825,000. Bids there, keys are there. Make absolutely no mistake about it here today. 830 now, welcome ma'am and best of luck. At 830,000, bids in the centre. At 830,000, we're on the market. We sell 830 the bid, not going inside, not seeking instructions. We play for keeps. Bids there, keys are there. We sell 830 once. 835, welcome ma'am, best of luck at 835 now. Bid back there, one bid not enough here today. At 40 now, 40 in the bids there. 45, 50 if you like. At 845, fairly been offered back here at 845. Third bid might be the lucky one, ma'am. We're certainly selling here today. At 50 now, at 850,000. At 850,000, bid back here in the centre, opportunity on either side. At 850,000, fairly been offered now. First call at 850,000, done. I heard 55 over there first. Make it 60 if you like. At 860 now. At 860,000, two new buyers enter in the fray. Never too late till the hammer falls. At 860,000, the bid's there. At 65, I had it here first, Lou, at 865. At 865,000 against your bid, make it 70 now. At 865,000, fairly been offered. At 865, the bid. At 865,000, fairly been offered. Bids there, 865 on the market and selling. At 865,000, Ilia got to be 70, Lou rather, it's got to be 70 in the rise. 865, fairly been offered here. At 865,000 once. At 865, are we done? At 2.5, at 867.5 now. 867,500, fairly been offered. An easy decision to round me off to 70, sir. 867,500 bid there, and it's against your bid at 867.5. At 867,500 the bid. Bid there, keys are there, on the market, playing for keeps. If you come to buy, you must bid me now or forever hold your peace, because we do sell here today. 867,500. Bids here, 867.5 now. Once at 8. At 70, and welcome back at 70 now. At 870,000. At 870,000, fairly been offered. 870 the bid, on the market and selling at 870, and the keys are there in the front yard. At 870,000. At 870 the bid, on the market, selling. If there's no better bid, we'll sell at that. At 870 now. Once at 870, done. What's the bid, sir? 875, welcome. Best of luck now at 75. At 875,000, the bid's there now at 875. At 875,000, seems as though we've got bidders in every single corner of the crowd here today. At 875,000, fairly been offered now over there on the corner at 875. At 875,000, ball's back in your court. Opportunity with you, but the keys are there. At 875, at 80 now. At 885. At 885, the quick retort at 885,000, perhaps take me to 9. At 885,000, fairly been offered. 900 might be the mental barrier for the competition. If it is, you want to get there first. At 885, the bid. At 885,000, fairly been offered now. 885, the bid. Bid's there. At 887 and a half. At 5, sir. At 90 now. At 890,000, assume the higher bid. At 890,000, fairly been offered. Bids there at 890. At 890,000, fairly been offered now at 890. First call at 890,000, done. Second call, 890,000, done. Finished. Third, at 1,000, 891 now. 93, at 893, at 893, at 893,000, bid back there now at 893. What about 900 in the rise? At 893, be bold. Big bids, buy property, 893. The bid's there, 890, at 2, and at 95 now, 895. Can I say 900, sir? At 900,000, even money now at 9. At 900,000. At 900,000, I said it might be their mental barrier. Don't let it be yours. At 900,000, fairly been offered. At 900 in the bids there. At 900,000, even money. At 900,000, fairly been offered now at 9. First call at 900,000, done. At 901 now. At 905, the quick retort at 905. At 905,000, the bid's back there now at 905. At 905,000, I'll circle back, sir. We done here. Thank you very much for your bidding, ma'am. We're done there. Thank you again. At 905,000, sir, done. At 905, not yet. We'll come back to you at 905,000, ma'am. We're still in. At 905, pointy end of the auction, need to know.
Waiting for approval.
At 905, approval. It's always best to seek forgiveness and approval, ma'am. At 905,000, the bid's there. At 905, over here at 905, we're done over here. At 905,000, at 905,000, bids there, need to know now. At 905,000, fairly been offered once. At 906, 10, sir. At 908, at 908,000, 10 if you like. At 908,000, the bid's there at 908. At 908, the bid now, fairly been offered now. At 908,000, once. At 908, are we done? Twice. At 908,000, done, finished. Third, final call, 908, 000, the bid, all done. At 10 now got. At 910,000. At 12, at 912. At 912, at 912. Now, did you sense the hesitation in that last bid? At 912,000, might be at the end of the budget there. At 912,000, only one way to find out. Push on, keep going. 912, keep confidence in those bids. At 912,000, fairly been offered now. At 912 in the bids there. Sir, have you thought about it? Still thinking? I'm not here all day, so you're going to have to let me know at one point, sir, before we sell. At 912,000, fairly been offered, bid there against you at 12. At 912,000, once. At 912, done. Twice. At 15 now. At 17. At 917, 20. Can I suggest? At 917,000, bid there. 917 the bid. Have we sought approval, ma'am? Do we have it? You're definitely done? No? So approval's not denied. I'll take that as a positive. At 917,000, the bid's there. Opportunity with you at 917. Need to know, can I say 20 in the rise? At 917,000, fairly been offered. Once at 917, done. Twice at 917, done and finished. Third, final call at 20 now and a bold bid at that. At 22, at 922, at 922,000, pressure straight back on you. I'll give you a moment to think about it. At 922, at 922,000, awfully quiet on this side for the last few bids. At 922, at 922,000. Lou, was your buyer done on the phone at 922? Definitely done. Thank you for the instructions here today. At 922,000 and they're bidding. At 922 and the bid's there. Back against you at 22. Thought about it yet, sir? Yes, no? How about give me a bid and take some time to think about it? Best case is you buy it. Worst case is someone else pays more. At 922, the bid's there. Yes or no? No, not yet. And 922,000. It's going to have to be before the hammer falls, though. At 922,000, bid's there once at 922, twice at 922. Third, final call, at 925. At 27. At 927,000, at 927,000, and how about 30? At 927 the bid. At 927,000, fairly been offered, bid there at 927 now. At 927,000, we're done over there. Ma'am, have we got approval yet? Keep going at 927,000. At 927,000, bid there. Opportunity in the front garden at 927. At 927. Was that a bid? Oh, someone yell out. At 927, no. At 927,000 once. At 927, done. Twice. At 927. At 28. 28. At 928. 30, sir. At 930 now. At 930,000. At 930,000 now. At 930 the bid. At 930,000. Bids there, keys are there, opportunity still here. At 930,000, got to be decisive if you want to buy. You have to dig deep right now if you want to get those keys for good. As it stands, the keys are there. At $930,000 a bid. Sir? Yes, no? Definitely out? Thank you very much for your bidding here today. At 930, approval yet, ma'am? Done. At 930, that was the limit. Thank you very much for your bidding here today. At 930,000 bids there. Looks like you've beat all but one. At $930,000 a bid. Bid there. Keys are there. We play for keeps. Once at 930, done. Twice at 930,000, done and finished. Third, final call, 930 the bid. All done. All finished. All silent and out at 930. Everyone else tells me they're out, ma'am, so need to know. You're still with me? Give me a big, bold bid. Say 35. Let's really test the competition here. They've got the keys at the moment at 930,000. The bid's there, about to sell, so I do need to know. I hate to put pressure, but I must.
No, that's okay.
At 930,000, what do you say? 1,000 at 931 and welcome back. At 931, sir, the bid's there against you at 931. At 32, at 932, got them down to $1,000 bids. That's cause for optimism. At 932,000, the bids there have been bidding stronger than that, and now at ones. At 932,000. At 932,000, when the competition comes down to ones, that's the time to increase your bids. Show some force, show some strength if you want those keys. At $932,000, bids there, keys are there. At 932 now. First call at 932. All done. We done over here, Harry? Yep, done. Second call at 932. Done. Finished. Third, final call at 932. All done. Finished. Silent. Out at 932. Definitely done over there. So we're definitely done there. We definitely don't have approval over there, ma'am. At 932. Thanks again. Bids here. Keys are here. Gonna sell now at 932. On your word, I'll sell to the highest bidder. What do you say? 932, bids there, keys are there. We're definitely done, absolutely sure. Let me see your eyes, sir, and tell me you're out. And then I'll believe you. At 932, definitely done. At 932, thank you very much for your spirited bidding here today. At 932,000, bids there, keys are there. Once, twice, third, final call. $932,000 a bid, all done, all finished. Silent out, one more time, tell me you're out. Definitely done. You seem unsure, sir. That poker face has got me confused at 932. How about one more for old time's sake? You've come so far at 932,000. How about we say 35 and leave it at that? Walk away knowing you gave it your absolute best to walk away with the keys. At 932,000, the bid's there. Can entice you in for one last roll of the dice and say 35 in the rise. At 932,000 I have, and I'll sell at that if you tell me you're out. At 932, don't quite think you are though. At 932,000, bid there, keys are there. Need to know now. Once at 932, twice at 932, third, final call 35. At 35, and I thought so. At 935, at 36, straight back in. Has he done enough now? At 936. Has he answered the call at 936,000? The bid's there, the keys are there. Do we let him have it at that, or do we try 40? At 936,000, at 936 the bid. At 936,000 on the market and selling here today. At 936 once, at 936,000 done. Twice at 936, done and finished. Third, final call, $936,000 the bid. All done, all finished, all silent and out at 936. We're definitely done now. Still got that poker face, sir. You've got me questioning myself here today at 936,000. Need to know definitively whether we're in or out. At 936, the bid's there, the keys are with him. At 936, do we let him have it? Or are you going to give me a bid, get back on top at 936? Yes or no? Definitely done. Thank you very much for your bidding once more here today at 936,000. Once, twice, third, final call. We're selling. Selling. Absolutely sure. Selling. Sold. Congratulations and well bid. Congratulations to our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata & Co auction. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Have a great weekend. See you again soon. Thank you.